What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Boost Your Biology podcast. I'm your host, Lucas Aoun, and I'm joined here in the studio with Angus Macintosh joining me from Keeper Health. Angus, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Lucas. Awesome to be here.
Yeah, great that you were able to fly down for this one, and I'm super pumped to record this one here today.
Definitely. Good to
Before we get into it, man, I'd love my listeners to understand a bit more about yourself, Angus. I mean,
yeah, for sure. So I'll tell you a little bit about my background and a little bit why Keeper as well. So me, I've always been a sort of health and fitness sort of guy. Early 20s, I was a personal trainer. While I was at uni and things like that, and always into that sort of performance sort of aspect of health. Mm-hmm. Being 20, you want to put a bit of muscle on, you want to look good, right?
Yeah.
From there, it all sort of changed a little bit for me. I sort of got into my late 20s, early 30s, and I got really, really sick. I developed ulcerative colitis, which is, as you know, it's an autoimmune condition.
Yep.
I was living in a moldy house at that time, so that sort of triggered all that. And I was having a few stressful things in my life. My father passed away, and it was a pretty bad time. Pretty crazy times back then. But from there, I sort of, I remember, being diagnosed, and in addition to all the the GI upset issues and, anxiety and brain fog and, the mold related illness things as well. Pretty horrible place to be. And, I still remember going to see a proctologist, like a specialist at that time, and them saying, basically, you've got ulcerative colitis. This is an autoimmune thing. You're going to be on steroids for the rest of your life. There's nothing we can really do about it. So it's pretty daunting hearing a specialist say, that's it. Yeah, rest of your life, there's nothing we can do. Me being me, I sort of dug in and, looked at some lifestyle interventions. Like I looked at the specific carbohydrate diet and, other sort of lifestyle factors. And I came back to the doctor and I said, what do you think about, SCD diet? What do you think, what else can we do lifestyle-wise? And he basically says to me, there's nothing you can do. He says, it's not going to make a difference.
Jeez.
So I was pretty gobsmacked because I think food's medicine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So from there, I kept digging. I didn't give up. I experimented with different diets, and it was pretty tough eating pumpkin for about a year and a half. But
what was the rationale there? So specific types of
specific
carbs?
Carbohydrate diet. It's a pretty old school diet.
What's it called? SDD?
SCD diet. Yeah.
SCD.
So it's like I think it's
non-fermentable.
Some of it's fermentable, but it's it's a very old school diet. So very just simple carbohydrates like pumpkin, even honey and things like that, which is I couldn't have honey at the time because I had sort of fructose malabsorption, but I sort of cut between a autoimmune paleo and a specific carbohydrate diet. That sort of worked for me while I was healing. Anyway, so I was lucky enough to find a really good doctor, Dr. Janet Kim in Sydney. She's a integrative doctor. So she really helped me sort of take control of things, and she was great to work with, and sort of dug in and got stuck into all things, sort of health and longevity related. In about a year and a half or so, I was in full remission. So all my blood markers came back. There was no sign of autoimmune. So from there, I sort of, worked with her and sort of got, spent the last sort of 10 years or so, 10 to 11 years. I've sort of been digging into, all things health and longevity and deep diving into everything. And, there's such good information out there, with things like your podcasts, you've got, Ben Greenfield, Dave Asprey, Huberman, amazing resources out there now. And then it's just, So I suppose that sort of brings me to Keeper. I've sort of spent the last 10 years honing in and experimenting with sort of anything and everything, a bit like you, sort of let's give it a go.
Experimenting and tracking as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So I still see Dr. Kim now, and
wow.
I sort of get my bloods done with her every 3 to 6 months, depending on.
Which biomarkers are you most focused on with the ulcerative colitis? Is there anything in particular?
Nothing now, because they've been clear for so many years.
Yeah.
So I'm really sort of optimizing to the next level now.
Yeah.
So I'm really just trying to get a lot of my biomarkers into optimal range as opposed to the standard GP range.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where I'm at the moment.
Any in particular you want to try and like crank up or decrease?
I'm sort of trying to crank my free testosterone at the moment, actually.
Good to hear.
Yes.
Good to hear.
So I've been experimenting with boron a little bit, but it hasn't been cutting the cheese for me.
Okay, yep.
So I'm keen to give your new product, Peak T, a run in a few weeks. So very excited to give that a go for 6 months or so and see what that sort of does to the free tea. So yeah, I think back to why keeper, I suppose. It sort of got to a stage where my supplement cupboard and just my overall protocol was just a little bit cluttered.
Yeah.
I just wanted to simplify things. And
was your cabinet flooded with supplements?
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like you look at your cupboard and it's just overflowing with supplements and they're all single sourced and you're spending hundreds of dollars a week. You're like, it's a full-time job trying to keep, my taurine's out. I've got to wait another week and a half, to come from iHerb or whatever. And I just sort of wanted to, I wanted to build products that I wanted myself. That's sort of how it started. I was looking around and I wasn't happy with what was offered at the moment. And I just thought, we could do better. As I said, it's a lot of single dose supplements. You buy NMN, for example, you're paying $60 or $70 for a 30-day serve, and it just adds up. You're buying things weekly, it adds up. And I think a lot of ingredients, a lot of products out there, I just wanted them done I wanted something that was up to my standard in terms of like testing, something that wasn't underdosed, hidden in proprietary blends. A lot of supplement companies sort of pixie dust as well. So that sort of, brought me to looking at creating supplements that I want for myself. And I just wanted to sort of simplify supplements for the everyday person as well, not just, not just for biohackers. It's just a sort of a supplement range that sort of could suit everybody, a population friendly. Obviously people need to check with their GPs or, their doctors before they start taking things, but that's the sort of intention and the way it was designed. Yeah.
Back in the day, I'm curious, which sort of supplement ingredients did you respond well to, or do you sort of remember playing around with and you're like, damn, this is really good?
Yeah, back in the day, sort of before I, early 20s, before I really got into it, I was pretty basic back then. It was sort of like, let's get as much protein as you can into you.
Yeah.
More scoops, the better.
Yep. Back when whey protein was a third the price, probably.
Yeah.
It's doubled in price recently.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
I used to buy it for like $15 a kilo or something silly like that. I used to whey protein was a big one. Funny enough, I can't even handle whey protein anymore. I've got developed some sort of intolerance.
Yeah.
It just hits my stomach and I'm just
what does it cause for you? Does it give you the bloating or the really bad
pain? It's like
gas.
No, not even gas. It's like just pain in the actual stomach.
Jeez.
Within about 10 minutes. I'm like,
wow.
I'm like on the floor in the fetal position for an hour.
Jeez.
So I don't know where that's come from.
What about like amino acids? Did you play around with
aminos.
those?
So I used to love BCAAs back in the day.
Yeah, okay.
I now think that they're probably a bit of a waste of time. I wouldn't spend any money on BCAAs now. They're just sort of an incomplete profile.
I was the same as you. I used to play with them and think that they were the best thing. I used to sip on them at school in between in between classes. I'd sip on it and I'm thinking I'm getting this anabolic drink.
You're like, oh, I can feel it growing already. I was the same basket. I haven't touched BCAAs for years and I do love EAAs now though.
Yeah.
I still take them and I think they're a great
for sure
supplement for performance and recovering, and I love them on gym days especially. Probably another one back in the day, creatine, for different reasons though. Back in the day you want to
just your standard monohydrate.
Monohydrate, yeah. I've always just sort of taken the monohydrate for different reasons. I just wanted to put a bit of muscle on back in the day. But
you still got your kidneys? You still got both kidneys?
Well, funny you mentioned that. I actually thought back in the day, I stopped taking it for a few years because I read a few, studies, saying that it could potentially harm the kidneys. And I had my bloods done and my creatinine levels were really high and that scared me off it.
How old? You would have been early 20s?
Yeah, early 20s. I was early 20s then and I was like,
so it swayed you away?
Yeah, it swayed me away. In addition to the studies and then seeing my creatinine high, I got scared off and I didn't take it for a few years. But we now know creatine's like probably one of the most studied supplements in the history, of supplements. It's, I think super overall benign. Within, 3 to 5 gram doses, there's not a lot of downside. It seems relatively safe, I think.
It's funny. I was on a podcast the other week, Angus, and I couldn't believe what this guy said. And I know what he was saying was false. He basically said on the podcast, if you're under the age of 31, if you take creatine, your body will stop producing. You become dependent upon it for life. And I'm like, what? Have you heard that before?
Never heard that
before. It's like if you take it, then you're addicted to it and you can't come off.
Maybe he was reading about steroids or something.
I was really like, what are you talking about? It's not true. Your body rebounds and eventually backs up production again. Any other ones that you sort of, what about in the longevity space? Like what sort of got you into that?
Yeah. After I sort of got sick, I really got stuck into, overall wellness, not just sort of performance. So look, I think in terms of, you mean like what are the top, like the best sort of
ones that sort of piqued your interest and you're like, you know what, I want that as part of my own formula.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I think in terms of the top sort of longevity ingredients, it's a tricky one now because there's so many good longevity compounds out there now, and there's always new research coming out, and for people like you and I, it's pretty exciting. We probably get excited when we see like, oh, a new one on spermidine. Wow, I think creatine. I think that's up there for the top longevity ones now for different reasons. I think there's so much good, new research coming out on the neuroprotective benefits of creatine, healthy aging, and, muscle's such a big part of longevity as well. So, so important to maintain that muscle. Taurine, I know you love taurine.
One of my favorites, yeah.
I love taurine as well. I've been using taurine for years and years, and that's, partly why I wanted to put a meaningful dose of taurine into my supplements, like Complete Longevity, for example, that has 2 grams. So I think taurine's amazing. I think looking after and supporting the mitochondria is one of the best things we can do. I think it's coming out that a lot of diseases now are sort of starting from poor mitochondrial health.
Yep.
So I think that's such an important thing to focus on. And, your nervous system health, it can definitely help with that. And I even saw on some of your YouTube content the other day, it can even help with like EMF and,
Oh, yeah.
That's really interesting, especially living in cities now. If you're living in the city and there's always 5G, Wi-Fi routers smashing you every day. And if you're living in an apartment block or something, like there's Wi-Fi routers everywhere.
There's no escaping.
And most people don't turn them off at nighttime like you and I probably do. Probably thirdly, I think NAD plus precursors. I think they're really interesting. I know the science is still relatively new, but I think they're very interesting because there's a lot of potential with them. We all know that NAD plus sort of declines naturally as we age. So if we can help sort of replenish that with the precursors, I think that's a great thing in terms of like coming back to mitochondrial health as well, supporting aging pathways, and even like helping fuel, like ATP and also, like DNA repair. So, as we age, DNA repair becomes even more important. So the more we can do to support that, the better, I think.
With the all the NAD precursors, a lot of people I think there was a period of time where a lot of people were saying they the NMNs are not bioavailable. They're not, they don't get converted well. My opinion is I think they actually really do. Oral. I'm talking about oral form.
Definitely.
They really do.
Agree.
Even if I'm pretty sure that there's some studies where they just use B3, niacinamide.
Yep.
And I think even possibly nicotinic acid, which is B3 as well, different form. But niacinamide by itself can boost NAD levels in the body.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. And I think the safety, I think the safety's there as well.
Safety profile is amazing.
Absolutely. So I think it's a why not? I think, And like with our, complete longevity formula, we've taken like a 3-pronged approach there. We've got like NMN, we've got NR, and then we've also got apigenin as well.
Nice.
Which can help with the CD38.
Yep.
As we age, inflammation increases and CD38 sort of can eat up a little bit more of our NAD plus. So we can sort of inhibit that. That was sort of the thinking behind that.
And apigenin also has some other beneficial effects outside of the
Absolutely.
NAD.
It wasn't in there just because of that, but
it does quite a few things that I'm pretty impressed by. I remember reading up about its effects on I think there was a study looking in animals, I don't know if you saw this, but upregulating steroidogenesis, increasing STAR enzyme, which is good for testosterone.
Oh, nice.
And then there's some animal studies showing that it can inhibit aromatase, but I'm not sure how powerful that is, but that's always a nice little
100%.
benefit.
Yeah.
And then
I haven't seen them, but that's pretty cool.
I think
That's
it also
awesome.
I remember because apigenin's the main flavonoid found in chamomile tea.
Yes.
And also celery.
Yes. Celery,
and
that's what I was
parsley as
thinking.
well.
Yep.
So like all these things are very beneficial. All right. So you were pretty much the one responsible for formulating the products, right? So
yes. So I worked with integrative doctors, some experienced formulators as well. From start to finish, from the idea sort of coming up, it's sort of been about 2 years.
Jeez.
I thought it was going to be a lot quicker. I was like,
of course.
Yeah, 6 months, we're going to be good to go. And it just keeps dragging on. I'm like, God.
Talk to my audience. Let them know behind the scenes, like which bit drags on, like which process, the labels, the manufacturing, like what?
Absolutely everything. You think everything's going to be smooth? Nothing is smooth.
Nothing is
You think
smooth.
you have the draft formulations and you're getting feedback from formulators and integrative doctors as well, and you're like, change this a little bit, and then you might see some new research come out and you go, oh, hang on a second, I need to tweak this, and then and then you get to the manufacturing stage and you need to sort of figure out what's going to be what stabilizes and what you need to change around to make
what
sure
actually mixes in water.
Exactly. And then you get to the stage of sampling them, and some things might taste horrible, so you have to remove them just because of the taste, because we're mainly powdered supplements.
The taste profiles are huge. Like I've heard from many formulators that if your product doesn't taste good, you're not going to get sales. You're 100%. Not going to get anyone buying the product.
So that was a long process as well. We're going back and forth with samples and trialing, and this one's no good. We've got to try again and tweak this, try sort of tweak that. But it all sort of came back to, making products that I genuinely wanted for myself. So I sort of tried to hold it up to a standard, whereas, would I take it? Will I give it to my family, my friends, or my loved ones? That's sort of where it sort of came back to. And, in terms, even things like sourcing, I wanted to make sure that we sourced all of the ingredients from all the best suppliers. For example, NMN, it comes from Syncozymes, which is probably one of the main, one of the sort of strongest manufacturers of NMN worldwide. And then even down to the small things like the berry extract that gives complete longevity a little bit of color and a little bit of flavor in addition to the stevia. We all know that conventionally grown berries are, can be quite high with pesticides. So even little things like that, I was like, no, we have to make sure it's all from organic sources. We need to make sure, all testing is done above and beyond. As I'm sure you know, Lucas, a lot of the testing, everyone says third-party tested, but you look into it and it's not as it's not as strong as it looks. Like you see a lot of in-house claims or in-house testing, and
so
a lot of
brands are cutting corners.
Exactly. And I was like, that's one thing I'm going to do right. So we sort of go through everything, and
it's costly as well.
It is. It costs a lot, and you got to test every batch. And we're doing pesticides, mycotoxins, heavy metals, even purity. So when people buy a supplement and it says 500 grams of NMN and 10 milligrams of spermidine and everything else, you're going to get what you pay for. So it comes back to sort of making products the way I want them to be. And sort of, I think sort of helping, the other sort of idea was, sort of to simplify the supplement space a little bit. There's a lot of noise out there. And we just wanted to make proper sort of meaningful doses, evidence-based ingredients, and just to form a really great base layer of supplementation, in terms of how I sort of saw the body, the sort of different systems. So you've got like complete longevity, which is, your sort of your mitochondrial health, your healthy aging pathways, cellular energy. You've got daily reset, which is more sort of centered around your liver support and detox support, which is crucial for, living in today's sort of toxic soup. We're subjected to so many different toxins every day. Good gut, again, the standard diets are pretty poor. The food quality is sort of going down as well, I think. So a lot of people have gut and sort of digestive issues. So I thought that was another major pillar of health. So, we've even included things like next-gen probiotics like Akkermansia and sort of to help, the gut lining. And then fourth, we've got Body Boost, which is more centered around, cellular health again, but muscle, hair, skin, and nails, and even little like mitochondrial boosters in there like D-ribose.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know I know you're a fan of some of these sort of compounds, but they're not sort of known to a lot of people, but they're sort of designed to be all synergistic. There's no overlap, and they can all be sort of taken together. Like, in fact, I do take all of the Keeper supplements together, and there's no overlap in any of the ingredients. So that was sort of the way it was designed to sort of be more of a system.
Yep. The D-ribose, the one you mentioned before.
Yeah.
When I try and explain that, because I've been prescribing that to a lot of the clients that I work with one-on-one, because a lot of guys, when they're coming to me, they're saying, Lucas, I need more energy. I need my higher testosterone. And I'm putting together stacks, right? And I'm looking at their blood work and putting together stacks. And basically, the D-ribose, when I explain what that is, they're like, why is he prescribing me sugar? Like, what's he doing?
People just see the sugar and they go, oh, no, I don't want the sugar.
And then I'm like, well, guess what? This sugar actually lowers your blood sugar. I don't know if you've seen that, but it actually has a direct hypoglycemic effect.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I'm like, this is sick.
It's such an awesome, like, underrated compound, I think. So yeah, I thought it had to be in there.
So then in terms of, I guess, that process of, reiterating, revising, tweaking, experimenting, seeing whether it mixes. And
because we're playing with 18 ingredients, like I'm talking about complete longevity as an example, we're talking about 18 ingredients as well. So it's sort of a lot of mixing and matching and a lot of experimentation to sort of get that to a stable. And
how did you go seeing light at the end of the tunnel with that process? Because this would have been consuming a lot of your time.
Definitely. Yeah, I think the false idea that it's just around the corner keeps me going. I think we're close, and it's such it's a real passion of mine. Like, it's something that I love. So it's not something I'm like, oh, I've got to do this now. It's exciting. I love seeing it. I love seeing it come to life, and I love seeing the progress and all the next stages. So it's an exciting adventure for me.
And they're products you want to be obviously proud of.
Exactly.
You're using them. You're proud of them.
Exactly.
And you know that they're like well formulated.
And it's funny, like some people even, like maybe acquaintances or something like that. Obviously, close friends know I'm all about my own products and I take them. But it's funny, some people, they might say, are you actually taking them? And I'm like, of course I'm taking them. I'm like, I'm not just, some nameless corporation, wrapping up some garbage in a pretty tin and flogging it. And then as soon as they hear that, because they know me, they're like, oh, okay, all right, where can I get them? Can you send me the website? Okay, let's go. So I find that funny sometimes as well.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a funny like internal joke within my family. It's like, because I go so deep into everything and everyone knows this and they sort of ask for advice, a lot of friends and family. And it's funny, I might get a call from my mum and she'll go, oh, what about this pan? Can I use this pan? Is it Angus approved? I'm like, yeah, no, that one's Angus approved. Okay, you can use that one. Gosh. I'm sure you probably get the same thing.
All the time, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
People, like when people come to my apartment, first of all, if they're coming over at nighttime, all the lights are changed to red.
Oh,
every single globe.
So I've still got the blue light blockers walking around then.
Every light's red. Hyperbaric chamber upstairs.
Me too.
Oh, you got one as well?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they?
Oh, it's the best.
Soft shell?
Soft shell, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if you were to stack these interventions, like you're doing your HIIT training, you're doing hyperbaric.
Love HIIT training.
Yeah.
It's a cheat code, I think.
So good, isn't it?
It's amazing.
What's your HIIT training look like at the moment?
Yeah, I push myself pretty hard in terms of training. So I'm doing like 3 heavy weight sessions a week. I'm doing 3 jiu-jitsu sessions as well. And then I know, it sort of adds up. So I squeeze
As a busy father, that's impressive.
So I squeeze in a HIIT session once a week. It's only 5 20-second sprints, so maximal sprints on a assault bike.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. So 100% all out 20-second sprints. Jeez. And then I'm having like 2 to 3 minute rest in between.
How gassed are you after that?
Oh, like destroyed. Like I'm going 100%. But I found that's been an absolute cheat code. Like as I've sort of skill has sort of gone up in jiu-jitsu, the exertion's gone down. So I found my fitness was lacking a little bit. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to start, stacking in these HIIT sessions. And it was pretty wild. Within 8 weeks, my resting heart rate went down probably 6 to 8 beats per minute, which is like sleeping resting heart rate.
But that's coming down from already pretty low.
Yeah.
Right?
So it went up to like 46, 48, and now it's back down to like 39, 40,
that's
and it's wild. And I was like, I was even shocked by the how effective the HIIT training was. I think it's fantastic.
The assault bike is so physically exhausting, isn't it?
It's horrible. And then, I love adding in saunas as well. I'm personally about the infrared. I know there's a little bit of controversy, within. I know Brian Johnson always goes on about the only way is the traditional.
Yeah.
All the studies are on the traditional. I know that, look, I get all the studies are on the traditional sauna, but I think having that sort of level of heat for me and my sort of training load, I find it tips me, the hormetic stress is too much for me.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah, it just sort of tips me over and I'm wiped. If I do a heavy,
me too.
like 100 degree or whatever,
So
crazy,
silly.
like 40 minutes at 100 degrees, I'd be dead. So like it wipes me for a day. So I'd rather have consistency, sort of like the Keeper supplements. It's sort of, they're built for consistency. And the infrared for me, I can be consistent. I enjoy it.
Plus
I relax.
it's easier to ice as well when you're in the infrared.
I love that was a mad tip as well. I do have the ice pack in there every day as well on the boys.
Yeah, nice.
That's a must.
Yeah.
I can't believe people still don't even know about that.
Unbelievable.
So I was talking to someone on the
literally
weekend.
Damages the sperm. I mean, if a guy's ever thinking about conceiving, if he's regularly using a sauna, he's just killing his sperm cells.
And it's got to relate to overall like hormone production as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Did Brian Johnson, I think he even spoke about it once before.
Yeah, I've seen a few posts, him talking about icing as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the hormetic stress of those, for me, I know everyone's different.
I'm the same. I couldn't do it if I was doing a lot of training.
Yeah.
If I threw in 2 sauna sessions a week, dude, I wake up. I can't wake up.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Wiped out. It just wipes
Completely
you out.
wiped out.
So I love the infrared, and I, have an iPad there. I might watch a TV series. It's like my relaxing time. I love it. So it makes it easy to be consistent. I got rid of the ice baths. I gave that a good red hot go for about a year and a half. I was finding not much benefit, and again, a little bit too much hormetic stress for me.
Agreed, yeah. Were you getting sick more often from it?
Yeah, I was. I was getting sick, and I just thought and it was actually ruining my sauna session because I'd be dreading having to go into the ice bath. I'd be staying in the sauna for another 10 minutes because I don't want to go in the ice bath again.
The ice bath, I don't know if you ever did this back in near Bondi, but did you ever jump in the cold ocean in the beach like in winter and stuff before the ice bath stuff?
Yeah. No, I've dabbled with that. It's not too bad. It's only 14 degrees-ish.
Yeah.
So
I remember when I was engaging in a fair few ice baths like that, and I was just getting sick a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, what's going on? I know it's supposed to be beneficial for immune health in the long run, but if you look at Chinese, I don't know if you've studied Chinese medicine, but
I have a little bit, yeah.
They say that
that's sacrilege to them.
It's so bad for your body.
Yes.
So bad.
Yeah.
It's you get a great buzz, you feel euphoric.
For 10 minutes after I felt good, and then after I was like, I'm not feeling that great anymore.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, I'm happy to give that a miss.
So how many products have you actually, so you got 3?
We got 4 products.
4 products.
Yeah.
Are you planning on, what's your long-term vision?
Yeah. So the idea, we definitely want to add more products to the range. I won't give away exactly what they are yet, but there'll be a couple of extra stacks. And I think, long-term, that'll be sort of part of the plan as well. And then I think we sort of want to, as I said, with the brand, I just want to sort of reduce a little bit of the noise in the industry as well. It's a pretty noisy industry, the supplement space. I'd love to sort of just help simplify that and make it easier for people to be consistent and make it easy for, everyday people. As I said, they're sort of more population-friendly sort of formulations. And I think overall, I sort of just want to build that trust within the brand. I think it's so important. I think when people see, your products in before, they know you're behind the product. So that you have a sort of instant trust within your products. So I think it's important to put a face to the name. I don't love being on podcasts. I don't love being on Instagram.
Get used to it.
It's not my forte.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to put a face, behind who's behind these sort of products and what I sort of stand for. And to show that I live the life and I'm not just, a nameless corporation, packaging up some garbage and flogging it. It's all been, done properly, and it's done in a way that, I give to, my loved ones and give, I stock my mum up and keep her going.
How did you go about selecting a manufacturer? Because that process would have been, I guess, pretty extensive.
Yeah. Went up to tender. We went through, I met with quite a few different manufacturers, and I actually got samples from quite a few different manufacturers.
That would have taken 6 months.
It took forever, but I just wanted to be really thorough. And then once I sort of got a feel, and I had to visit all the manufacturers as well and meet with them, because I thought, you're going to have to.
You have to see it.
You need to see it. You need to see it. And then, it sort of gets to the next stage, and then you're sort of digging into where, you're giving them, your formulations, and you want to dig into where are they getting, where are we sourcing everything from as well? We need to make sure we're going to get the best sourcing. So then when we're getting pricing from different manufacturers, we want to compare apples with apples and make sure that we're, on a level playing field and, quoting on the best sort of products possible.
In terms of some of the longevity ingredients you mentioned before, are there certain ones you're excited to see more research on at all in particular?
Yeah, I think some of the autophagy ones like spermidine, I think that's interesting. And then I think in terms of more broader sort of where we're going as well, I think AI is pretty exciting as well. It's moving so rapidly, and then, in conjunction with next generation wearables and blood markers, I think it's going to be really interesting to see where we end up with that, particularly like disease prevention and, picking up trends before they even turn into disease and sort of helping people, optimize their health.
There's something you've probably seen those continuous glucose monitors, the CGMs.
Oh, yeah, I love them, yeah.
I thought of an idea yesterday as I was getting a DEXA scan.
Yeah.
I was just underneath the machine. I'm like, why don't we have one of these that does hydration status? Continuous hydration monitor.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because everyone needs to be hydrated.
Imagine we have wearables with hydration status, blood glucose, like without having to pierce the skin.
Oh, dude, that'd be insane.
Amazing. You're getting real-time feedback. You're having...
You'd buy it straight away, probably.
Oh, I'd be so on it. I found CGM, I did that for probably a couple of months. I found that so insightful.
Yeah. Any experiments?
I only did it because my fasting insulin kept rising.
Above what?
It's baseline now. It's sort of like high threes, around 4.
That's amazing.
It's good now, but it was up to like 8 or 9 from memory.
Really?
And I was like, what is going on? I'm eating a very clean diet. Something's going.
Plus you were still training back then?
Yeah, training hard.
Yeah, for it to be 8 or 9, you'd be like, what's going on?
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it came back to, I was eating a lot of sweet potato and I wasn't steaming it before, like putting it in the air fryer or, something like that. And I had my CGM and I, had, my sweet potato and...
But it wasn't potato by itself with meat?
Sweet potato with some eggs or anything.
Yeah,
anything.
With the protein.
Just some protein, yeah. And my blood glucose just skyrockets and I'm like, what is going on?
But wouldn't that happen if you had rice or bread?
No. So it was just it's more specific to me.
Yeah.
It was just like a nuance with me. And I was like, okay, I was eating quite a lot of sweet potato at that time as well. I was like, okay, that probably explains why my fasting insulin's been, rising over the last few months. And then, you sort of look into it and you start experimenting. And then I thought, what if I steam it first and then I cook it? How does that affect things? You steam it and wash it down and wash all the resistant starches off and then cook it. And then there's hardly an impact on my blood sugar. So everyone's different. And I think everyone reacts differently to different foods as well. So it's such a good thing to do, even if it's for 2 or 4 weeks, just to figure out how you react to different foods.
It's almost as important as getting a blood test.
100%. And then from there, I could refine things and change things around. And I don't necessarily need to use a CGM ongoing because I've sort of educated myself on
spot on
what does and what doesn't work. And then you keep a track of things, of your regular blood tests anyway. So you can get a pretty good idea of how you're going.
Did you go through a phase with tracking sleep?
Yeah, always tracking sleep.
Yep.
I
went through about 1.5 years and then I'm just
over it.
I just stopped because I'm like, I'm not seeing a difference in how I feel. Like, how sometimes you've woken up and you're like, I have energy. Mm-hmm. You look at it and it says you slept terribly.
Yep.
What are you going to do? What are you actually going to do differently for
There's
that
nothing
day?
You can change.
Exactly.
I'm the same. I take it with a grain of salt. You have your HRV scores as well, but how accurate some of the wearables are with that, I'm not convinced. I think you need to have be in tune with your body and have a bit more of a subjective feel. I think that's a little bit more important than what the watch says. I still track it, but I don't really, take it as gospel truth. And I don't really believe a lot of the deep sleep stages and how much you're actually getting, because sometimes it'll say, oh, you got 1.5 hours of deep sleep and you're like, I feel wrecked today.
So how does that work?
And then you go, oh, you got 30 minutes of deep sleep and I feel amazing today.
Exactly right.
I don't buy into how accurate they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it really change your behavior?
It does to an extent when you start wearing them. I think same as the CGMs. You start to hang on, I better get to bed on time.
Yeah.
You start sort of optimizing that and making putting that as a priority. But past that,
yeah, I agree. Switching gears, Angus, I just want to sort of touch on where you think most people go wrong when it comes to supplements.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are looking for magic bullets, I think, and ignoring the fundamentals. So there's no supplement that's going to get you out of doing the fundamentals right. So I think that's a lot of people sort of get tripped up there. They sort of think, oh, if I take this, I can get away with five hours of sleep a night and things like that. So the fundamentals are boring. I know they're not sexy, but I think they're the fundamentals for a reason. So I think doing that first and then adding layers on top like supplementation or hyperbarics or saunas or whatever else you want to throw in on top. But I think focus on the big things first. I think a lot of people probably don't understand exactly what they're taking a lot of the time. They may listen to influencers who are just selling products. I think just listening to random influencers, I don't think it's a great strategy for your health. It's a lot of the time they're just getting paid and they might not even take these supplements themselves, and they might be absolute garbage. They might just be hiding behind proprietary blends or who knows what's in it.
That's definitely 95% of influencers out there.
Agreed.
Particularly peptides at the moment.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, what a huge buzzword, peptides. Like every second influencer is talking about GHKCU, BPC.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. And they're sort of peddling a lot of them as just harmless as well, and they don't even know the sourcing or the quality. The quality, so much, I should say.
The quality of it just.
I know you had some guys on your podcast a few weeks ago
from the room next door, actually.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool for Aussies.
They're good. So they're Australian, so they're manufacturing out of Adelaide.
Oh, perfect.
And they're literally one of Australia's biggest compounding pharmacies for peptides and research chemicals.
Yeah.
So that's Thrivix.
Yeah.
They're really good. Because I got offered that many times every week I'd get an underground peptide lab saying, join us. I'm like,
no
piss
way.
Off. Like,
you're like, get away from me. You're like, where's this garbage even coming from?
Someone's garage. It's probably someone's
horrible.
Garage. Yeah.
I've dabbled with a little bit of peptides before, like years ago after surgery. But it was actually from a compounding pharmacy in Australia. So I was never going to buy some random black market stuff. And
I can understand the temptation though. There's so many guys who think, oh yeah, I've got a clean source and it's like $80 per vial. Like, I can understand their logic. I've got a few gym mates. You've probably got some gym mates that are like that.
Yeah, of course. They just think, oh, it's not that much. It's $80.
How do you even know what's in the bloody vial?
But you're injecting it too.
That's even worse.
You're putting it in your body.
That's like directly.
Yeah. I think, you need a trust. I think it brings back to Keeper. I need to build that trust in the brand because people are ingesting it. Not the same as injecting, but but still.
Did you always foresee yourself doing powdered blends, or were you thinking capsules or liquids?
I was pretty open, but powdered blends worked the best because we could have the most ingredients in it. So like if we wanted to do complete longevity with capsules, I think
we'd be like 12 caps.
Yeah. And no one wants to be sitting there taking 12 caps.
Unless you're Brian Johnson.
Exactly. And the powder's just easy. It tastes good. You just like one in water or smoothie or whatever you want. And it's like, I think the flavor profile is pretty good now. It took a long time to get it like that. But yeah, it's easy. You just make supplements easy. You just water and down the hatch. And, I take it with a few other little supplements as well, but that's the base layer for me. Like, I think, there's always things that I'm trying to tweak for my, personal weaknesses or, my sort of, what's the word? My sort of DNA, my sort of, how I'm sort of made up. There's all little things that are sort of more specific to me.
Yeah.
But I think they're just a great like base layer for supplementation, just to make it a little bit simpler.
Did you ever look into the MTHFR?
Yeah.
Polymorphism?
Yeah, I did. I have that.
You have one,
I have the gene.
1 or 2 copies?
I'd have to double check, but I definitely have at least one. I think I have both.
Oh, you have. Oh, wow.
I think I'd have to double check. I have done the DNA.
Did that mean
test.
You jumped on like the methylfolate activator Bs at all?
Yeah, nice.
Exactly.
So that's why all the B vitamins in Daily Reset in the liver support and detox support formulation, they're all methylated. They're all the active forms. And wherever I can, I've used the active forms of supplements like the CoQ10 in Complete Longevity. That's, ubiquinol.
Yeah, nice.
So it's just makes it easier for it's the active form ready for the body to process, just makes the supplement more effective
But the average consumer won't know that, will they?
No, probably not.
It's a shame.
But I don't think it's wasted money spending the extra on these things.
Nah, otherwise we wouldn't be chatting here today. Otherwise, if I saw you cutting corners with the formulas, like we wouldn't even be here today.
No way.
You know what my standards are like.
100%.
With supplements. They need to be high quality products.
Definitely.
What are your longer term goals then with Keeper Health? I'm actually really curious to know what your 3 to 5 year vision.
3 to 5 year. Yeah, I think this year it's all about trust. And Australia first. So we're only selling in Australia at the moment. So we're going to find our feet here, and then I'd love to sort of expand into different markets like the US, Europe, and just sort of keep going from there. So I think around that trust and sort of, just reducing the noise in the industry, they're the sort of main goals. And then sort of next, as it organically happens, we'll start expanding, but no rush at this stage.
Yep. I think it's a good strategy. Build trust, get the brand more recognized.
Do it right. And you don't want to expand where your products are losing, they're losing out. And if you have to compromise on any quality, so as we expand, just to make it happen slowly and make sure that, the quality is always there and, my face is behind it. It is what it says it is.
Yep. Yeah, because I imagine the process of now that you know what it's like to release a new product, at least that process is a little bit better down pat. Now you sort of get it. You know that it's probably not going to take 1 month. It might take.
Yeah. And there's less time pressure now as well because we already have the 4 products running. So to be, I'm happy to take my time as well. I have taken my time on the first ones, but there'll be less pressure to take my time on the next products coming out as well, the next stacks. But they'll all be around like a specific goal, like our first products. There would be a sort of a system, part of the system that overlap with any of the other products.
You thought about doing a big ashwagandha stack?
No. Not yet.
What about the super ashwagandha stack? All the forms, KSM 66.
I like my dopamine. I have experimented with ashwagandha.
Oh gosh. Was this before my content or?
It was actually. It was before.
Yeah. Okay. By itself or
by itself. By itself. I was using it more for a sleep stack.
Yep.
I was experimenting. I've experimented with most things, to be honest. Like, I'd like to give it a go for myself, within safety. I'm not doing crazy protocols or crazy doses.
Leave that up to me. I'll do that.
I still try to keep things relatively safe.
Like, leave all the Russian drugs up to me.
I have done peptobioregulators.
Yeah.
They're pretty, I didn't really notice too much, but I gave them a go.
Did you try the bromantane at all back in the day?
Haven't tried that one.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I think the reason I bring the ashwagandha up is it's popping up in so many products.
I know.
Still.
And people throw it in as another ingredient in a blend, and it's like,
why?
Ooh. Like, it's a pretty solid, like.
It's a very powerful herb.
It's super powerful. Like,
it shouldn't be like just, let's whack it in there,
And there's potential for like liver toxicity, and it's not as safe as everybody thinks, I don't think. I experimented with it. I thought for the first few weeks it helped sleep a little bit, I think. My trusty tracker was saying I got more deep sleep. But I don't know.
But your serotonin levels through the roof.
Yeah. But no, I did find I was a little bit flatter during the day.
It's flattening, man. It's apathetic. It makes you apathetic. Like, it's just how many people complain that they don't have drive?
It's such a common issue.
Every second guy says, I'm not driven. Like, I'm exhausted.
100%. And if you're taking additional things to make you flatter when you're already flat, It's not going to end well.
How does that work? Yeah.
So that's probably a no for me.
Yeah.
Personally,
I can assure you that I've left it out of peak tea in my test boost.
I'm shocked. I thought it'd be the first ingredient to
Could you imagine
drive.
if I did that? If I released peak tea with ashwagandha as the main ingredient, people would be like,
"Hang on,
what is wrong with you?"
I thought you've been saying that, you know.
Nah, really good stuff, Angus. I'm excited for you and Keeper Health.
Thanks, Lucas. Yeah,
it's an exciting journey. I mean, this is your main thing right now, your main focus.
Definitely.
I can see it obviously growing, getting it out there, building the trust. The formulas, you're not cutting corners, and I don't think you're ever going to, because it's products that you want to use.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to just sort of hide behind this, artificial company that, you want to be the face of the brand.
Yeah. And to put your face onto a brand, you really have to stand behind it, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As much as I love podcasting and Instagramming.
You're in the public eye, that's really important. But I think the whole longevity space it's really booming. Like, it's really taking off.
It is.
And more and more people are talking about NMN, NAD. Those NAD infusions are everywhere.
What do you think about the infusions?
Well, personally, I actually haven't dabbled with it because I'm really sensitive to NMN already. So if I take NMN,
how much?
Even 500 milligrams, I'll get. I feel like I'm not centered in my thoughts. I'm too forward.
Really?
I'm too fast. Like, I can't control the.
I can imagine your NAD levels would be high anyway.
I would assume they're pretty high.
Yeah.
I've played around with a lot of other things in the past that boost NAD levels. So maybe naturally at the age of 30, it's probably pretty high.
And you're obviously, very healthy and
testosterone sitting just below 1,000 nanograms per deciliter at the moment.
Solid.
And that's without HCG and clomiphene, without any other, no pregnenolone, no DHEA, just with peak tea, the ingredients in peak tea. So I'm pretty happy with that.
I'm giving peak tea a go.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be on the list.
It's going to be
Angus approved.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, man. I think it's going to receive a lot of attention. And everyone knows me as the natural testosterone guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I was a guy talking about icing your balls 6 years ago.
I know. You were ahead of the curve on that one.
Yeah. Did you ever get into that as well, the icing?
Yeah. I still do it, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
No, I'm absolutely converted to icing.
Yeah.
If I go and catch up with friends at a sauna, somewhere else, and I have, I don't bring my ice pack with me all the time. I'm always a bit I feel a bit naked without my ice pack.
You have to go to the freezer, grab the frozen peas.
Exactly. Exactly. But at home I've got an infrared, and it's just it's just part of the protocol. It's just ice.
Dude, when somebody asked me the other day how many times I ice a day, and this was leading up to that blood test, you'd be shocked at how many times I'm icing.
Really?
I'm not joking. I'm probably doing it 7 or 8 times a day.
Wow.
But I'm doing it because I'm at home, I'm in the office. Just
why not?
Why not?
Why not?
I'm just constantly getting the coolness and then the rebound blood flow, and then the coolness and then the rebound blood flow. And I'm just constantly getting that.
Interesting.
And I don't know, I haven't checked my sperm parameters, but I'd be confident they're probably going to be good.
Odds are. Odds are you're not going to have too many issues.
We should have I was thinking of doing a testosterone Olympics.
I'm in. I'll give it a go.
I'll have to
I'll be over 40s though.
You'd win the 40s category probably.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Well, with peak tea, you never know.
Yeah. Well, Angus, thanks so much for jumping on the podcast here today.
No, thanks for having me,
Lucas. It's been really fun
awesome
chatting. For anyone who's listening to the podcast here today, I'm going to make sure to leave a link to Keeper Health in the podcast show notes if you guys want to check that out. And in addition, if you did enjoy the episode, please do leave it a 5-star review. Really does help to boost the algorithm. I think I've recorded over 350 episodes now, which is really awesome. But you guys are all doing me a massive favor when you're leaving me a 5-star review. That really does help. And as always, guys, I'm your host, Lucas Aoun. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Boost Your Biology podcast.
Nice.